Hello there, my lovely lovelies on Facebook and my wonderful lovelies on Instagram. It's so good to see you, and it's so good to be back with you. I miss you guys. I really did. I was on staycation for the last 2 weeks, and I got to tell you, girl needed it. And I loved catching up with my family, my son and daughter, and my hubby, my great hubster, Stevie, and caught up with friends, and we just cooked a lot together and did some dinners out and some lunches out, caught a Broadway show. But I got to tell you, I missed you guys. I missed you guys. I really did. And it's so good to be back with you. It's good to be back here with my team. And I'll tell you what, we had a great time today figuring out just kind of solidifying some dates, I should say, for some really awesome things we have planned for you this year. Oh my gosh. I want to tell you that we are planning a live, massive design immersion event for you, and it's likely going to be in February, either mid to late. That's what we're just trying to iron out, and that'll be online, so anybody from anywhere can join us, and we're looking at doing a phenomenal live event in a city to be disclosed here in the United States. So lots of good stuff, cool stuff coming, and we are going to be continuing our Facebook Lives with you because, you know, Katie and I love coming out here and jamming with you, seeing what's on your design mind, and seeing how we can help you to hit those glorious heights. Oh, I'm Donna Hoffman, for those of you who don't know me, sorry. They call me the interior design advocate. That's because I advocate for you as a design lover in all things design. And I also run a luxury interior design company here in the Philadelphia region of the United States. Every Tuesday, Facebook Live time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and I come out here and I teach a lesson about something that I really think will help empower you and help you to get closer to those wonderful results you want, and I take your questions on the topic at hand as well. And today's topic is pretty cool, and it's something no one is talking about and no one really teaches about except me, I think, and it's called your design fingerprint. Why is it that you can spend hours scrolling through pictures on a website and start to get confused? Everything starts to look good. Why is it you can walk into a furniture store and just spend time with your spouse, 40 minutes, another hour, and then now another 20 minutes. Now 2.5 hours have gone by and you still haven't found what you both love or agreed on something. Design fingerprint. Why are you not getting the results that you love even though you have massive numbers of images saved? Well, you're missing strategy, but also design fingerprint. Why is it that following some of the great, fun, and talented design Instagrammers and design bloggers that you love, their advice sometimes feels a little confusing for you or it doesn't work for you? Why? Design fingerprint. What is your design fingerprint? I'll be taking questions about this topic, your design fingerprint, as well as some project questions too, since we're just kicking off the new year. But what is your design fingerprint? Your design fingerprint, quite frankly, lives underneath your design style. Design style is a puddle-deep discussion, girlfriends. I don't care if you're Cali casual, or if you're transitional, or if you're modern, or if you're contemporary, traditional. If you don't know your design fingerprint, oh, are you leaving a lot of money on the table in terms of getting results you will love, 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 love for years and years and years to come? Why? Design style is important to know. I'm not saying it's not, but your design fingerprint is so much more unique to you. It's how you uniquely relate to things like line, form, shape, color, texture, pattern, placement, just to name a few. Do you know you have a design fingerprint when it comes to kitchens? You do. You have a design fingerprint when it comes to bedrooms? You do. You have a design fingerprint when it comes to certain elements like backsplashes? You do. When you know your design fingerprint, it's like having the keys to the kingdom. And this is something I teach in depth in a phenomenal course that I offer called Decorating Genius System. And I take you through this entire discovery process where I show you how to gather images, how to analyze your images. And there are 24 questions you have to answer, and in a particular order, to be able to isolate your design fingerprint for you and a design partner like your spouse or your significant other, or I don't know, your guy on the side, your gal on the side. So the bottom line is that when you know your design fingerprint, you will never, ever, ever walk into a tile showroom again and think, oh, good grief, wow, who invented all these tiles? You'll never stare at that paint wall in Lowe's or Home Depot and think, holy smokes, why are there so many shades of gray? You will walk into any showroom and things will just fall away. things that are not right for your design fingerprint, because you'll know your design fingerprint like that. Things will just fall away and you'll see exactly what you need, when you need it, how you need it. For example, I bet if I asked you what shoe size you wore, any one of you could say, oh, that's easy. I'm an 8, I'm an 8.5, or I'm a 6, or I'm a 7 narrow. You would just know your shoe size, right? But if I asked you, where do you like pattern in your room? I bet you couldn't tell me like that. So your design fingerprint, how you relate to line, form, shape, color, texture, pattern, and more, placement. These are the things that breathe tremendous, authentic beauty into your interiors when you start to create them. Oh my goodness, it's game changers for my students, the women who I empower in design. But also the process becomes so much easier. And the reason you can't ask your girlfriend, hey, what do you think of this fabric for my living room drapes, is because whose design fingerprint will she be advising you based upon? Yours or hers? Hers. So that's why it's easy to walk out of a furniture store with a well-meaning furniture salesperson, and you get home and you think, oh my gosh, I don't know if I really like that stuff anymore. I don't know if I feel comfortable placing that order. But when you know your design fingerprint, didn't somebody brilliant in some great book somewhere say, woman, know thyself? Katie, wasn't that said somewhere? I might be paraphrasing, but you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of strength in self-knowledge, right? Same thing in design. And when you start to do that for yourself, oh my goodness, tremendous things start to happen. And also, I use the design fingerprint to end arguments between couples, because when you know his design fingerprint and her design fingerprint, or her design fingerprint and her design fingerprint, or his design fingerprint and his design fingerprint, depending upon the cohabitating, co-designing couple we're talking about, when you know everyone's design fingerprint, guys, you find that sweet spot between everyone, and then magic happens and everybody wins. So it doesn't matter as much about the divergent design styles. It definitely matters, but the design fingerprint is massive. It's the reason that my student Barbara has a very similar style to my student Deb, but their design fingerprint is so different, that the rooms that they work on, all beautiful, the things that they're creating with, working with our products and working on our private groups, beautiful, but very, very different, okay? So the other thing I want to tell you about your design fingerprint, and everyone's got one, and it's very unique to you. One of the reasons you have to be careful about the phenomenal design thought leaders that you're following as bloggers, as Instagrammers, there's so many great people to learn from now, right? But you need to be careful, because when a blogger states with such an opinionated, this space is really lacking color. This space needs a vibrant burst of yellow. This space has too much color. This space, wait a minute. Whose design fingerprint are we talking about? There's design strategy, but then there's a design fingerprint. My student Barbara could read one of the really fun design bloggers I like reading, and she would probably dislike a lot of this blogger's posts, because too much color is like nails on a chalkboard bad for Barbara. However, my student Deb does need a lot of color, but she needs certain types of color, and she needs them placed in a certain way in a space. So you're starting to see the power, the brilliance, the magic, and the majesty. I think I'm out of alliterative M's right now, but you see the ness of the design fingerprint. It is like having the keys to the kingdom. I teach a great free online workshop called From Decorating Stress to Decorating Genius, and I put a link in the little blurb here, the post, and if you want, click on that when we're done. Sign up for that workshop, and I teach a little bit about how to find your design fingerprint. I teach a little bit of it because it's actually a whole lesson that I need to teach, and there's a lot more that I cover in that workshop than just the design fingerprint. But this way you can get your feet wet with it. At the end of that workshop, I do talk about my Decorating Genius System product, because I know it helps so many people. But hey, if that's not good for you, just file your nails while I'm talking about that product, and stay tuned as well for the Q&A at the end, because I really believe everybody learns by listening to everyone else's questions. So if you'd like to sign up for that free workshop, From Decorating Stress to Decorating Genius, I did put a link in the description here, and it will take you to a page where I tell you a little bit about what I cover in that workshop as well. All right, my dears, do we have any questions coming in? I have a lot of Happy New Year's and nice happy things being said to me. I'm glad they're happy things being said to me. Getting hellos from lots of people on Instagram, so I'm sending you hellos and waves back. A little harder for me to see you there because you're on my phone a little further away. I'm getting a little love from people, some hearts and flowers, thank you. Christy's saying Happy New Year. Jen is saying Happy New Year. So is Margaret saying hello. So I'm getting a lot of hellos and Happy New Year's. Deanna missed the start. What are we talking about? We're talking about the design fingerprint. You'll have to go back and rewatch this when we're done. Jen McCann is saying design fingerprint makes life easier with 4 exclamation points. I've seen the beautiful design that Jen McCann has been doing since she's been taking my courses, and I want to say the design fingerprint has been a game changer for Jen. It has unleashed something in her. Oh my gosh, so proud of what Jen's been creating. Judy's out there listening from Cape Cod. Well, listen, it's so nice to hear the hellos from everybody. If you have a question about the design fingerprint, or if you have a question about a project and you'd like to put that in now, please go ahead and do that. In the meantime, I will tell you, getting some loves and hugs on that one. In the meantime, I will tell you that next week, 4 p.m. Eastern at Tuesday, we're going to stop everything here at the studio and come out and talk to you about big color mistakes. I scratched my nose. And when I say big color mistakes, I'm not just talking about just paint. I'm talking about overall color mistakes that are really common for design lovers, and it has nothing to do with how brilliant you are, how beautiful you are, how talented you are. It has to do with some strategy issues that are kind of scooching by you. So next week, 4 p.m. On Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be talking about big color mistakes that you're making without even realizing it, and they are backfiring in your home right now as we speak. Okay, so right now, if you have a question about a project that you'd like to put in, feel free. I'm going to see if I see any questions coming in, or if you have questions about the design fingerprint, feel free to put that in. Lori is asking me, what is Lori asking me? Lori's asking me, do I have a favorite website to pull images? You know, Lori, I think that there are 2 websites that are really great to look for images so that you can get a sense of, you know, gee, what are my inspiring images? What am I craving? What am I drawn to? I think House is wonderful because House has professional designers like me, my team. We were a professional award-winning design company. See a couple of those awards, those little black things up there, little triangular things. There's some things that we worked hard to earn. You see, you know, really solid design teams posting their portfolio so that you can see how would somebody do this in the ideal world with adequate budget or with design training. So you can really see some of the top people out there working across the country and across the globe, and pull images together that way. I think that's awesome. And you can also share books with with people, Lori. So you could create a book, an idea book is what they're called on House, and then you can share it with a designer. Maybe you're working with a kitchen designer or a builder, or I don't know, or with your sister-in-law. Maybe you guys own a beach property together. A girlfriend of mine just bought something with her sister, and they're going to turn it into what is that called? Like a rental, like a revenue producing thing. So they are trying to design together across the miles. So the nice thing about House is you can share those idea books. And I also think Pinterest is wonderful. Pinterest is a massive search engine. So you can really kind of zero in on a design style you want to play with, perhaps, and just do some shopping and perusing to see what excites you. I hear Katie scribbling. Could that be that there are things Katie wants me to read? She's going, I think Katie's probably typing out a question for me or writing out a question for me from Instagram, since my phone is living on a really weird little setup right now with spit and glue. And if I touch it, it's going to go flying. It's kind of far away. Is this going to be about dark brown blinds? Okay. I can't see the whole question, being honest. Without my readers on, sight is not my superpower. So, okay. So I see questions coming in about dark brown blinds. There could be something more to it. I'm sure Katie will tell me. Oh, here it is. Bing, bing, bing. Thank you. All righty. So Bucko Lab B on Instagram, hello Bucko Lab B, is asking me, dark brown blinds, beige walls, what color throw and rug will match? Well, Bucko Lab B, if you were here from the beginning of this talk, this lesson, I was talking about your design fingerprint. So for Bucko Lab B, I don't know what your design fingerprint is. I don't know how much color you tolerate in a space or are craving in a space. I don't know how much pattern you can tolerate in a space. You want to know about a throw. What color throw and rug will match? Match what? I'm not even seeing a picture of what you're showing me, asking me about. So here's what I would say to you, because I want to give you some meaningful information, because you're asking a great question. This is a great question, but you need a specific answer, and you're giving me such general information. You know, if I said, hey, next week I've got pink underwear and blue pants, you know, what kind of shirt do I wear next week? I don't know. What's your style? How much do you weigh? What cuts look good on you? How much do you have to spend on this? So Bucko Lab B, I want you to get some strategy, because you are asking wise questions, but you're telling me that there's basic, specific strategy that you're missing. So whether you learn that with me as a design coach or somewhere else, I want to see you get that information. I want to see you do some education or some design education. So if you want to check out our free workshop, go ahead. If you want to find support somewhere else, that's fine too. But I will tell you that, you know, there are a million directions you could go in, and I don't know your design fingerprint or your budget or what else is in the adjoining areas. So Bucko Lab B, I want you to think about, you know, what's happening in adjoining spaces. How do you want to move the eye with that rug and throw that you're going to add? Are you picking up a color from an adjoining room that you want to drop into this room in question for that throw that's coming in there? I don't know. What do your other area rugs look like? You know, Bucko Lab B wants to make sure that the area rug in adjoining space A is saying something compatible to adjoining space B. So great question. I'm glad you're thinking this way, and I want to see you, I'd love to see you getting even more empowered with more strategy, so that answers like that will just kind of be there for you. Okay. Next question is from Melissa 3741. She wants to know, Melissa, I gotta stick my glasses on. Am I seeing any, oh, I love this question, Melissa. Melissa wants to know if I'm seeing any changes in design trends for window treatments in 2019. Melissa, hope you're available a certain Saturday in February, because we're doing a design immersion, getting you designing window treatments like a boss. That's all I'm going to tell you for now, but more information is going to be coming. Okay, design trends and window treatments. Okay, so Melissa asks a great question. Here's what I want you to know briefly about design trends in total. Depends upon the country you're in. Depends upon the region of the country you're in. So I happen to practice based in Philadelphia, but we can design for clients. You know, we looked at a project in California, talking to somebody about a house that they may be building in Florida. So we can go to different regions, right? But we're based in Philly. Most of our clients are in this area, the Philadelphia, New York region. That region of the country has some different trend yearnings than, let's say, Florida or Texas or California. So the region of the country, city versus suburb, that can affect things. And then, of course, country to country, things pretty much vary too. And it's so funny. Americans are always shocked when I tell them, you know what? Americans are not as contemporary and forward in their design cravings than, let's say, they are in parts of Europe. Europe is a lot more modern, you know, like parts of like France, right? Paris, oh my gosh. So what would I say about design trends? In general, we still see a movement towards simplicity in window treatments, meaning the swags and jabots not really happening. We're not really being asked for that and have not been for quite some time. I would say a good 7 to 10 years. I'm not sorry that those have not been around. That said, Melissa, and Melissa, I know you have yourself as Melissa 3741. I'm assuming it's Melissa. That said, some of the design show houses in Paris and in New York that Katie and I recently attended, some designers were showing some swags and jabots, and I thought, oh, please, no, no, no. I will tell you that for designers, those heavily embellished, heavy labor treatments are really good for profit centers because it's more fabric, it's more labor, harder to do at retail and do well. But I don't miss that froofiness on the window. So back to that. That's my design fingerprint. Back to you, Melissa. We're still seeing simplicity in window treatments. I think that in general, you're seeing that Panels are just an easy time forward piece. Roman blinds and Roman shades have really held their look, both whether it's a flat belly or whether it's an arched bottom, so that's always safe. And shutters have really held their trend. You don't see them as a forward trend movement for shutters, but for people who are traditional or transitional, leaning toward traditional, certainly in the South, shutters are happening, but you're seeing that those slats now are wider than what they used to be, you know, 7, 8, 10 years ago, right? So I hope that helps you. And when we do see embellishments, we're seeing things like banding, still seeing that, vertical banding, horizontal banding, getting into those more dressmaker details in terms of window trends, covered buttons, some of the more elaborate or interesting pleats. That tends to happen, but it can happen at the higher end. Also, I will say that I continue to see that finials at the end of those rods for those window panels, they still tend to be more simplistic in the higher end interiors that we're seeing in the industry. So hopefully that helped you, Melissa. That's a great question. Final 2 questions. That's what Katie's telling me. So if there's another question or two, happy to stay here to wait for you to put those in, or if you have a follow-up on something I've already answered. Reminder for next week, we're going to be talking at 4 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Every Tuesday we're here 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about big color mistakes that really brilliant design lovers are making. You don't even know you're making them, and they are backfiring you, and you know you're shooting yourself in the fabric bolt right now with those. Okay, scroll down on Facebook for more questions. That would have been a really smart thing for me to do. Thank you, Katie. Oh my Lord. Okay, my heavens. Okay, Wendy wants to know. We have a new, okay, I'm just gonna, before I even read one more question, if you send me a question that requires that I see a picture to be able to answer you well, because I don't want to give you crappy information, I want to give you great information. So if you ask me a question where I need to see a picture to be able to answer you well, lovelies, I reserve the right to say, baby cakes, girlfriend, I need to see a picture. So Wendy's asking, I have a new medium gray upholstered banquette with a walnut table. I want to add a couple of chairs. Should they be upholstered also? Oh, Wendy, well, I don't know what else is going on in your home, but the short answer is no, they don't have to be upholstered. You could do, again, depending upon your style, you could do, there's some really great, you know, that whole like Parisian cafe chair, you know, woven wicker look. It's still happening. It's very cool looking. You could add that, Wendy. You could add upholstered something where the gray is where it's an accent with the gray of your banquette. You said you're at a banquette where that gray is maybe a minor accent and maybe a pattern on those chairs. You could do an all wood chair. You could do an all wood chair and then just add an upholstered cushion made aftermarket. So there's a lot of things you can do. I don't think you have to worry about that. I got to take a drink of water. I'm choking on something. Hang on. But Wendy, that's a really good question. Sorry for pointing. Sorry for pointing to Wendy there. And then Mary Lou is asking, this is a good one. Oh, Mary Lou, I don't know if you saw the Insta story I posted. I forgot. I don't know if I did it on the IDH feed or the TIDA feed. Do you remember what I posted? I was on Sunday, Mary Lou, I was drinking my tea and reading, catching up on all my magazine reading, and I saw 2 really interesting white kitchens. I thought, oh, at last. Is the white kitchen trend continuing, or is it on the way out? I'm getting bored with the white kitchen trend. I got to be honest with you. It's so out there. I love it. I think they're beautiful, but you sign on to Instagram and one kitchen after the other is white, 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 white. We just finished working on a really extensive, or are finishing up an extensive project. And the client wanted a white kitchen in an in-law kitchen, an in-law suite. But they said, you know what? We love white kitchens, but we want to do something a little different in the main house. So I don't see white kitchens going out of trend, off trend yet. But I will say, what keeps something more trend forward? So if you look at the white kitchens from 10 years ago, because that's how long they've been trending, 9 years, you know, you saw these cathedral doors. Well, now the door style has changed, right? We're seeing these, you know, farmhouse doors, these slat doors, or really feel like a farmhouse, like an Amish kind of door. Or we're seeing gold hardware coming in, right? So, or now it's a white kitchen with a really cool cement tile in a really wonderful, you know, almost Moroccan feeling black and white or colorful something kind of, you know, geometric pattern. So your great question, Mary Lou, is are white kitchens going out? I don't see them going out, but I see designers pressing forward and trying to show some new version of it. So is it a white, you know, island, but with a black cabinetry at the border, or the perimeter, or is it a green cabinetry at the border, at the perimeter? So I'm seeing designers trying to push for something forward, but you pick up your phone and you look at an Insta feed and it's one white kitchen after the next, and a lot of design lovers are going to kitchen groups in their town saying, give me a white kitchen. This is what I want. I want a white kitchen with a subway tile, and there it is. So I don't see it going away, but I will tell you that at the design show houses that we're going to, I haven't seen a white kitchen in a long time, in at least 5-6 years, because designers who are designing for higher end clients, those clients tend to want to have something that's a little more signature. I just did an Insta story, and I should make it a permanent story. I don't think I did that yet. 2 really great white kitchens. One was in Veranda, one was in, I want to say, House Beautiful. And the designers did things that had just some different flourishes, beautiful black and white hood, custom hood out of, you know, in a white kitchen, and beautiful exposed shelves, but they had a lot of gold accents to them, just things that were a little bit different. So I don't see it going away, Mary Lou, but I see that the design community is getting tired of it and trying to push for something new, but consumers are asking for it, so designers will keep giving it to you as long as you keep asking for it. So I hope I answered you there. There you go. Barbara is saying, Wendy, do you find the banquette comfortable? All right, I don't let you girls talk about that. And Barbara is answering. Everybody's saying, okay, you girls are answering your questions. I don't see any other questions coming in. I think we're good, right? All right. All right, dears. You look good. I've missed you. It's great to be back out here with you. I will see you next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about colors and what is making you nuts about those colors. Where are you making those big mistakes when it comes to color in your interiors? And again, if you're interested in learning more about the design fingerprint, taking a great free workshop, click on that link that we have there. And in the meantime, lovelies, I'm sending you a big hug and a kiss, and I will see you next week at 4 p.m. Eastern. Bye-bye now.